Right, welcome back. We are on card design number 3 now of February's card class, and I actually think this is my favourite card. I think I'll come back to that. I love this card. I think the colours work really nicely together. We've got layers of Blushing Bride, Basic White, Poppy Parade and Real Red, so it's a really nice sort of tone on tone selection of colours. I love the little black and white sentiment in the middle. If you follow me for a while, you'll know I'm a huge fan of black and white embossing, and I just think it's really sweet. I've used the lovely Hearts stamp from the Sweet Conversations stamp set just here. I'm going to be using this one and this one. This one, sorry, to bring it all together. And there's a little bit of fussy cutting in there as well. So let's get started. For our card, the basis of our card, we've got our Blushing Bride card base. We'll just give that a little fold and a crease with our bone folder. Okay. We've then got some card layering to do before we attach it to our card. So we have, oh, that's not quite, that's too short. Let me just trim that down a little bit. So let's check that measurement. Oh, there goes my ruler. So the measurement of that is 13.4. So let's just check what I've got here. Oh yes, I've cut it down a bit too. I've cut it down short enough. Much better. Okay, so let's layer those two pieces together. And that is going to get stuck down onto that piece there. Now, before we attach this to the front of our card, we're going to bring in our ribbon, okay? And a really straightforward technique for adding ribbon to your cards. You want a few little pieces of tear and tape, and you want to get this so it's roughly in the centre. You're going to fold your ribbon around your card, and you're going to secure that with some tear and tape. Like so. Cut it off, fold the other side round and secure that. Okay, there you have your ribbon attached, and you can now go ahead and stick that piece to the front of your card. The reason I've done it like that is I personally am terrible. I feel like I'm terrible at tying bows, so this just gives me a little bit more control when I tie my bow, and it looks that little bit neater. Okay, we've then got these two pieces here, a piece of Blushing Bride and a piece of Basic White. The Blushing Bride we're going to add to the centre of our card, and we're going to put that on some pads. Now I'm just going to take some of this and trim this down. This is a foam adhesive sheet that I've cut some letters from, and this is really useful if you've got a really big area that you want to attach. Okay, so that's going to go down in the centre. That looks pretty central to me. And now we're going to put that to one side, and we're going to bring in a little bit of grid paper. This is my messy grid paper. This grid paper is one of the small sets that is part of the Stamparatus, or it works with the Stamparatus, and I find it really useful to use. So what we're going to do is we're going to cover this piece with our red hearts, and I'm going to stamp with Poppy Parade, I do believe. Just moving all my rulers out of the way. I seem to have acquired more rulers now. So I'm going to take my large stamp first, and I'm going to stamp hearts just across this sheet very randomly, like so. I also want some more hearts stamped on scrap that we're going to use, that we're going to use across this centre. Okay, so I want one large heart like so, and I want two of the smaller hearts. 1, 2. And then in the background of this piece again, we're going to fill in the gaps with this smaller heart. Like so. Okay, close our ink pad before we put our hand in it, or before I put my hand in it, and get rid of our little messy piece. Bring back in our card and pop that piece in the centre. And I think that ties in really nice with that background piece. Okay. Now for our bow, we're going to take our ribbon. Yours is obviously cut, mine is still on the roll. And you're going to tie you're going to thread this ribbon through there like so. Give it a little tie. And what that does is that gives you a little pinch point there. So it looks like this is all one piece. And then tie yourself a nice looking bow. Oh, the cows are having a good moo out there. Okay, when you're happy with that, just snip off the rest of your ribbon, and there you have a little bow tied there, and it looks like that's all one piece of ribbon. So it's a nice little technique for you to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and cut out all of these hearts. I'm keeping a little white border. Now there is a die for these hearts, if you have the dies. Okay, so concentrating. So we have our 3 hearts. Good, my snips have just fallen in the bin. And we're going to stick this down as well. So we're going to put this one on first. And that's going to go just so it kind of sits, the bottom of it sits sort of towards the bottom of your ribbon. And then our other 2, we're just going to pop down so they're a little bit nearer the bottom. Like so. So we've got our nice little heart decoration now, and what we need to do is create our sentiment. So I have some black card, and for this I'm going to use a little embossing buddy just to take away any static. Just going to bring this back in case I have any spills. I probably should use a clean sheet, but I think that looks really pretty. I feel quite inspired by that background. Oh, my stamp has come off. Stamp the sentiment with Versamark, and this is just a scrap piece of black that I've got lying around. We all have scrap card that we don't like to get rid of. Let's bring in our heat tool. It's just starting to cure now and set. Now, when I made this card originally, I thought, how can I attach that to there and not take too much away from the background? So how I chose to do that is I have trimmed each line of text along Let's bring our card back in. So I've got happy to have, and we're going to create 3 lines of text here. To have, just trying to find the other ones. You in my life. Lovely. So we can now stick that down. And now the aim is to get these stuck down so that they're relatively straight. Okay, so on the front of that we can now stick down a few little iridescent gems, and there's different sizes here, so I'm going to go with just a few sort of randomly on my card. Like so. I love these gems, the sparkle on them is really pretty. And then all we've got left to do is inside our card we have another piece of white that I have here. But before we stick that down, we're going to stamp a couple of little hearts. As you know, I do like a bit of decoration on the inside. So let's have one heart, one big heart, and we'll have one little heart. Just a little bit, and you could add in there happy birthday or congratulations or any sentiment you like when you have chosen who you're going to send your card to. And there we have card number 3, all finished. It's my favourite card of the set. Card number 3 for some reason is always my favourite. But yeah, I hope you like it. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments or get in touch. If you're following the class along at home, I'll be back shortly with card number 4. And if you're watching the replay back on YouTube and you're not following the class, I do hope you're enjoying it. If you have any questions, get in touch. Don't forget to subscribe, and my next class will be live to order from the 1st of March, and it's available here in the UK with a kit, or worldwide if you just want access to the measurement guide and all the videos. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.